I'll let you folks in on a little secret. I have a few aces up my sleeve whenever I get myself into a jam when trying to identify strange sounds that I capture. One of these sounds, which is at the center of this video, was recently put up to my channel as an unlisted video for means of identification. I do this from time to time when I'm on the fence about some of my captures. I only gave the link to a few highly respected trackers, trappers, and hunters who I'm confident know more about the outdoors and the outdoor sounds than I do. Don't get me wrong, I'm no slouch with natural knowledge myself. I grew up in rural northern Wisconsin and spent the majority of my 54 years on this planet making my leisure time in the waters and woods out my back door. That being said, there are others out there that put me to shame in that department. One of those is a gentleman who goes by the YouTube moniker BNO. He has had an encounter with one of these things himself. It's one of the more credible eyewitness accounts I've heard to date, based on how he carries himself, and his background experience pretty much eliminates misidentification. Listen to what he had to say after hearing the sounds I sent to him. I listened to it several times. I tried to listen for beaver or porcupine chews, but to me, it doesn't sound like that at all. Now, black bear tearing into some wood, possible. However, I'm not hearing it move around, its heavy breathing and moans and grunts. I don't know. It just feels to me like it's almost too spaced out. Like it was listening while it was doing what it was doing and taking pauses. I don't really hear any movement or breathing outside of what's happening. Again, if I saw the damage that it made, I could give a good opinion. Honestly, it sounds like it caught some good evidence. There are so many noises that are hard to explain in the woods. I don't feel like it would be a deer rubbing velvet off yet, being as it was only July 22nd. Other than a bear, it's the only thing it would register in my mind with the spaces between the sounds. Like he would rub, stop, and listen, repeat. I feel it's early for that. Great catch. He later goes on to say, I'm going to be honest. I take the skeptic side to most things, and whatever it's doing is thinking intelligently while it's doing it. It's stopping to listen. It's clearly of good size and has strength. But you can't even hear it moving around and breathing. I feel like it's possibly the real deal, like a Bigfoot snapping off tops or making something. Sounds crazy, but with headphones in, that's what was running through my mind. I've been trapping and such coming up on 30 years now. Been in the woods sometimes 90 days at a time. I'm familiar with a lot of day and night wildlife sounds. If it was a bear, you definitely would have heard it in that time frame. End quote. I was on the fence about making the video when I first heard it. It wasn't until reading BNO's reply that I decided to pull the trigger. Initially, my two hesitations, aka most likely suspects, were black bear and maybe a buck. Although the consensus is that July 22nd is way too early for bucks to be rubbing velvet. Black bear did seem to be the prime suspect for me. That is until reading BNO's reply. Then going back to listen for the pauses and lack of breathing and such. That is so typical of black bear behavior. To be clear, in no way is BNO, nor myself claiming this to be 100% not a bear. No positive elimination will be given. We both have mild suspicions that it could be what we're all thinking though. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing. Click on the bell to get notifications when I post a new video.